And now, our feature presentation.
You are watching a master at work.
Hello, how's it going? Rafael Chacín es el Capitán Rafucho. And hey, I know what you're thinking, but we are still right here at summer, but with a little bit of twist. Because right now it is a special episode of the Combat Club talking about for UFC 303 and Money in the Bank of WWE. I know last weekend was really amazing, which you see the ups and downs of the UFC 303, and which you saw a master class of Alex Pereira beating out Jiri Prochazka with a nimble and amazing knockout. So I know that I'm mumbling the scores right now, but I just wanted to tell you that welcome everybody to a special episode of the Combat Club. And I know there's second episode that I just wanted to do by myself, but don't worry about that, guys. Don't worry about that, because right now we're just trying to work it out for the day. And right now we're just getting involved with my co-host Zenith, and right now everything's gonna be great. We're gonna be back stronger than ever. So yes, as a matter of fact, because right now we're gonna to see like the first topic, which is the UFC 303. So I just wanted to make sure that subscribe to El Capitán Rafucho, subscribe to my brother Zenith, and please hit the like button, ring the bell for notifications, and like G Nation says, don't be a ninja watching. Just hit the like button, subscribe, and share this video to everyone, because this is the Combat Club. And right now, we're still at the middle of the summer, because right now, we just have like a special episode talking about for UFC 303 and Money in the Bank, which is on Ontario, Canada, ladies and gentlemen. So after that, we're going to see about it for the UFC 303. I mean, what can I tell you about this right now? Between Jiri Prochazka versus Alex Pereira, it became like a huge masterclass, because there's no trash talking, just like a pure intense fight of whole violence between the Poitin versus the Viking. And yes, they don't want to call me crazy about it, but hey, here we are at this moment, because everybody thought that Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler could be like trash talking, everything. But listen, I just wanted to figure it out that between Jiri Prochazka versus Alex Pereira, it just became like a great master class of fighting, and of course, violence, pure violence. Yep. Because fighting totally different than the style you prepare for. Fighting a guy who don't have to cut weight, fighting a guy who is impossible to finish. I mean, everything's happening for a reason. And no one is expecting this one. So I just wanted to tell you, salute to everybody on the chat. Salute to Robert Pena, Daniel Barry Sports, Rand, and Coach Ed is in the building right now. Salute to Coach Ed. Yep. And listen about this, guys. I mean, during the UFC 303, that was tremendously amazing. Amazing, because right now the people are saying, oh, this is going to be boring between Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler. But we just saw like an intense masterclass of grappling, striking, and of course, knockout. Even though that I was like a short notice, but it was like a totally perfect domination, because he's really got to put him in for the competition for a while. I mean, the fact, because let's be honest, Alex Pereira has no business being in the middleweight. And yes, that was just like, because it just say like there was like a 3 intense hours to make it happen. Just like boom, boom again. And I'm very positive that they're getting like a very bonuses for being the game of the UFC and taking the fight under their circumstance. Some of those fights are really great. Some of those fights are like very lackluster. Lackluster, but I'm telling you. But before the fight starts coming out, I mean, they screwed over McGregor so many times along. Because they don't know about for the former champion who headlined it in the past, only made 14,000 when he retained. I mean, Team Silva is his name, and he will just like suffer for health issues, and he sustained, and they never helped him out. Could be wrong about this, but hey, we're just getting like really enough of this. We're just getting enough. But during the fight between, well, Alice Pereira versus Jiri Prochazka, I'm gonna tell her for this right now. And pardon me. If you don't get knocked out, are you content to bound for the 10 to the post? Because I don't see like any damage or overhype. Maybe just like a special decision. I mean, that could happen. That could happen. I mean, check this out. That was like the amazing upper body Mary moves. I mean, Jerry could rock the shit, could never have to see without coming. But that is Pereira just do it like a master. It became masterful. I mean, Jerry looks very clutch, but he was absolutely defeated when he was shaking hands. But it's not gonna completely at all. It's very amazing to see how Abel is gonna make it like a superstar. I mean, during the activity of Alice Pereira was awesome because that's strange. I know he's very like not that bad in the not that good at the microphone, but his style, his moves, I mean, god damn, what could I do about this right now? But it's so refreshing like to see like a trajectory stays completely grounded and humble. Seems like taking opportunities that it comes to staying calling for a big money matchup. Guys like Topuria who thinks they need better. Conor McGregor. So they gotta take notes how they're actually great. Get it down in the octagon, stay humble, build family, and they close to you. Be grateful for the fans. I mean, career, it's all time for a lot of reasons. And that's one of the first topic that we're talking about it, which is that one. UFC 303 is over, but the GOAT debate it's heating up. Who is the best pound by pound fighter? I mean, between Islam Makhachev, Alice Pereira, and Jon Bone Jones. I mean, they're gonna be like at the top of the live with them about this shit right now. But hey, I gotta tell you for this one. Alice Pereira, they just wanted to need it. Just like, for example, 5 years. 5 years. But it's not clearly like the GOAT. And of course, he had one of the most impressive short runs of the UFC. His run of fame worthy. But unfortunately, the time is not on Pereira's side. I mean, it's old, and honestly, how many fights before he's ending up? If he was like a younger, he could have chased down the GOAT status. But when you look at the light heavyweight and ask, who is the GOAT at light heavyweight? Simple. The good answer is Jon, hands down. I mean, aside for the cheating, he has the records, and that's the big part that you put on the GOAT conversation. Title defense, wins, stat records. I mean, look at the serious GOAT conversations in either dimension. Jon Bone Jones, George St. Pierre, Anderson Silva. Now look at the list that I call it. So that one, fortunately, had just got too late to make those impacts. But I'm very sure he belongs to the Hall of Fame, whether it comes for a short time. I mean, He's only 36 at the smaller weight classes, but it can easily got another 5 years. He needs like at least 5 title defense to be talking about for the GOATs. So far, he has one. His rise in the career has been one of the kind because it just reminds me of Conor McGregor's quick rise. Remember that 2015 against Jose Aldo? Also similar to for Israel. Doesn't have like the longevity and starting in the UFC too late on the GOAT chat. But no one has more done than less fights because he has the craziest career so far. And damn, I was getting like really pumped it up. Really pumped it up. But does Alice Pereira belong at the GOAT status? I mean, he show up, chill out, puts people in sleeps, and go home. So what are they thinking about it? He's doing it right. He can hopefully can keep it up. But I'm gonna tell you over this one. If Alice Pereira doesn't have like the GOAT status, I mean, he probably works a lot. I mean, he broke everything about for the records. But he's on par with DC, Khabib, and Henry Cejudo. But it's not even at the same conversation as Anderson, Fedor, Jones, George St. Pierre, even Conor McGregor, Mighty Mouse. I mean, literally, no one has to come close. He trashed almost everyone he has fought, but down then tough. I mean, no one has done what he's done speeding, running the UFC. No one has destroyed more ex-champs in such a period of time. He's not been in the sport long enough to be called the GOAT, but he's very special. If Pereira hasn't given like the opportunities and took like the hard route to top the chance for the lowest GOAT dramatically, I mean, he absolutely destroyed with Adesanya in the rematch. He just started winning fights and in the age of the other great stars losing. But if you're gonna talk about for the GOAT, I mean, his loss to Adesanya will hurt him. He probably needs like 3 or 5 more title wins before he enters the conversation or win over Tom Aspinall. I guarantee about that. I guarantee. Hey, how's it going, Raiders down yonder? How's it going? CC Motion 98 with C. Is he on Ferguson level? Which means Alice Ferguson or like Ferguson. Oh, Tony Ferguson level? I mean, there's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. I mean, only having like a small number of fights isn't like the selling point to be GOAT. I mean, precisely like the lack of fights is personally the reason why he elevates so quickly. Take it for another example, like Conor McGregor. The more fights that have, more impressive. Also, Alex has barely fought any grapplers. I mean, between Alice Pereira and Islam Makhachev are certainly like the best champs in the modern era. Neither of them are top 10 all fighters, but both are hovering around the mark. Around their mark. I mean, probably there's nothing gonna set it off or replicate it. How quick it's gonna take in the sport by storm. And while least most of the fights had never against who were particularly favorable to him. 5 of those fights were against championship caliber fighters. It's fine to mention at least 3 of those champions out of the fight he fought had good grappling in combination with a good striking, but choose to strike to him. But I'll tell you for this one, he's not even close enough. Not even close. Not even close to the GOAT status. I know it's very good because we just saw the knockout of Alice Pereira doing the all styles because he was providing like a master class of knockout. But I will tell you for this one, I will tell you, he's not even close. I mean, Is a goal for the combat sports overall? Yes. However, in the history of the mixed martial arts, he's not the GOAT yet. But it's not where I had to meet it. I mean, whatever's gonna be either Anderson Silva, Royce Grace, or George St. Pierre. I mean, he's gonna make history with how quick it became, but not one, but two divisions and beat 5 former champions. Can you even imagine about that? Can you even imagine? I mean, who thought it's gonna be like that? I mean, between Alex Pereira, Tom Aspinall, John Jones, Islam Makhachev. Damn. There was like at the time you didn't have to change weight classes every year to become the GOAT. I gotta tell you about this one. But there's like another example. Tom Aspinall. Tom motherfucking Aspinall. But I will say it with this one. He's just like a true heavyweight champ. I guess for the fight against Sergey, I mean, he's the real baddest man of the planet. But I would love to see the defense of his belt, whether to be forced or the silence because of the John Jones ego. Not taking away for John, but I mean, he currently wants to do nothing to do with Tom and Shu, make it a belt for the both fans and become like the new generation. But I think that John Jones needs to retire at this point because some people they are sick of him dragging James out, running debations and holding back other people's career. If any other champ act the way he's done, won't think twice about stripping him. Yes, I mean, John will always like it a big trouble. Personality, I already see like the newest generations get their chance. They're shot to try and create their own legacy instead of just waiting around and decide what he wants to do. If he had the guts, he would have to fought Steve Miocic, where he was nearly like the prime. Nearly like the prime everything. Also, there was like another example. Islam Makhachev. Is it gonna be like a GOAT? Well, I don't think that would happen. I mean, it definitely put like it amongst the GOATs, as you can see, but they need to conserve about it. I mean, 3 more wins and it holds like the longest win streak. I mean, they're gonna be like a slap in the second belt to be tough on that, but I think it's gonna be hard to deny this greatness. But I really thinking about it. I mean, Islam Makhachev, it's just like the Roman Reigns of UFC. Hey, I know about that, but hey, salute to Alpha Cassie Raider and Charles 28. Salute to you. Yep, salute to you. But I mean, I think he needs like a few things to achieve this. Getting like a 17 fight win streak, which is definitely like the hardest one. That could break the current record. It is currently at 14, which is the third berg currently. I mean, he doesn't move up to welterweight, which he can achieve. It moves out to Leon. He has a strong chance of beating him. That will be Shabbat. Getting at least 9 title defense. John Jones has 13. He has the questionable story of PDNI pokes. I mean, DJ has 11, but he was less of a stack division. Silva has 10, but he was fired at the time with a weaker competition that had many low starters at the end of the career. And George St. Pierre has 9. 9! Makhachev has only 3, so they're going to get way ahead of themselves here. The fact that the 2 fights were against like featherweight takes very nothing away. That would happen practically every shit. Also, getting the welterweight belt. And another thing is going to be really hard because top of the welterweight had some incredible grapplers who are significantly larger than Makhachev. But it's going to be like the belt in defense once. it will definitely put him amongst the greats. As much as we can see Michael Bitch, it do takes a lot to consider the GOAT, because simply like George St. Pierre, DJ, John Jones did so much. He has a very high level competition that everyone's mentioning, but I don't think they're gonna need like a nine. If he clears like the lightweight division and becomes two-time champs or double champ and defends the second belt and against the longest win streak, he will be like unanimous GOAT among non-down-guessing haters. But it's actually like a lightweight GOAT. When he beats Armand, that will be definitive. Because I think he recognized in that order to separate himself from Khabib, and he needs to go to the second belt. If he cleans out the division, it will enough, because people will think he's under Khabib's shadow. Yep. But I just tell him about this one. I just wanted to tell it about this one. But I don't think that between Alice Pereira, Islam Makhachev, it became like one of the greatest of pound by pound. Simon Zenith is in the building to say, thanks for holding it, boss. Busy day. I will call you tomorrow. Happy 4th of July weekend. There you go. That's one of my co-hosts, which is Zion Zenith. And right now, even though that I was talking about for the GOAT status, I will tell you for this one. The only GOATs that are really recognized is about two. Rose Grace, who became like the greatest of all time to make some amazing Brazilian movements, and George St. Pierre. George St. Pierre, motherfuckers. George St. Pierre. His grappling style, his movements, his striking, his knockouts, submissions, everything. What could I tell it about this one? What could I tell it? There's nothing wrong about for George St. Pierre. So yes. Yeah, this is going to be happening in this one. Yeah. And then boom. Boom. Part of the main that is so great house involvement and keep dominating different generations of fighters. But I just wanted to see about that. I just wanted to see about that for a great battle between who has the GOAT. So you can leave in the comments right now who has the best pound by pound and who has the GOAT talk between Alice Pereira or Islam Makhachev. Do it for the commentaries. Who had the GOAT talk? Alice Pereira or Islam Makhachev? Put it in the comments right now. Because we want to see like everything about for the GOAT status. That would be amazing. That would be amazing at all. So yes. Yes, it is. And after that, I was talking about for the GOAT status for the UFC between Islam Makhachev, Alice Pereira, because I know that I'm holding down my opinion. Let's just talk about for another topic. And boy, this weekend is going to be off the chain, because not only is the 4th of July, not only is the 4th of July weekend, which we're going to celebrate the birthday of the independence of America. Hell yes. Because this weekend, we have two events that is going to blow up your mind. Nate Diaz versus Jorge Masvidal, the battle of the West Coast. And the Money in the Bank, the last pay-per-view held in the international cities before SummerSlam. It's going to be held in, wait for it, Cleveland, Ohio. So, here it is for the second topic right now. Here it is. Money in the Bank 2024, the last pay-per-view held in international cities. And I'm going to tell you about this one. Is it time for the Heat movement or the LA Knight movement? Because I'm going to tell you about this one. Let me talk to you. Yeah. I love it when I had to do it right now. But I got to tell it for this one. And I gotta know that I have my great predictions between Jey Uso versus Jack Gable versus Drew McIntyre versus Carmella Hayes versus Andrade versus LA Knight. I'm gonna all for it for Jey Uso or LA Knight. I mean, what can I tell it about this one? What can I tell it? I'm very convinced. I'm very convinced between Jey Uso or LA Knight could be like the winner of Money in the Bank. I mean, he can show up in the SmackDown and have a promo with Cody Rhodes about challenging for the championship. And I will tell you for this one, it might be like the greatest surprise. But yes. And also, don't be surprised at all about Drew McIntyre. I know, because remember the last time he was attacked by CM Punk. Yep, CM Punk. But I know that he doesn't want to do this one, but I really think that if Drew McIntyre wins, he doesn't want it to catch until CM Punk wins the world title of the Royal Rumble and then walks it out like a Royal Rumble as a champion, saying it like a WrestleMania match between Punk and Drew for the title. That will be so intense. So intense. I mean, in my opinion right now, I'm not going to lie. I really like the card we're getting through. More than everyone that just wanted to see about it. More than anyone. And I know this is going to be so intense. So intense. But I can see, I'm really convinced that everything's going to happen at that time. And if Drew McIntyre wins, well, that was set enough for like another rivalry between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. But if Jey Uso wins, that could be like really shocking at all. It's just like it in the moment of Jeet, because the Jeet movement, it became like so special that it became like the main event of SmackDown. And LA Knight, I mean, what can I tell about for LA Knight? If he's going to win the Money in the Bank, I would love to see that. I would love to see that, because remember the last time he just lost against Logan Paul? Probably not. But I don't see how this is going to cost for him. I mean, that could be happen. I mean, it's very like inevitable that I gotta take like the men's case. Just had to elevate something wrong, but I don't think it's gonna be like something's happened. But listen. If LA Knight wins, it seems like Logan Paul is gonna interfere to the match and cause Knight the briefcase, which they're gonna really set up for the United States Championship and during SummerSlam, but I don't see that having multiple people interfere for the Money in the Bank match for the men's. Is very convinced at all. Because the favoritism, it's all about for the Drew McIntyre. I mean, if he wants to like win Money in the Bank, when he attempts to cash it in during Seth and Priest match, then Punk interferes, Rollins sends out for the pinning Drew to win it, because at all of this, it won't matter. I mean, somehow they're gonna convince AJ Lee to push Drew off the ladder, causing him. But imagine it could have a moment like this one. Imagine this one. Hey, how's it going, Jamie Rose? How's it going? Jamie Rose is in the building. Salute to you. Salute to you, to everybody. But LA Knight, they could use like a way to force Logan at SummerSlam. Since he's been avoiding him, but I hate the idea of using like the briefcase or the mid card belts again. I hated that. I hated that. I hated that. And there's like another thing, which is like the women's match. The women's Money in the Bank. I mean, people want to see Chelsea to win. I mean, it'll be top notch, probably, but it might be just be like the most fitting for a while, which is used to give it like new people a chance, or Naomi or Via Case for the second chance to hold in gold, because it could be like a legit match, because Tiffany and Chelsea look very likely to win it gold. They both are SmackDown with Nia in the background. So Bailey, I don't know what they're going down there. I don't know what they're going down there. But they're about to get ready for a fight, crowd pops, and then zero reaction from Soy. I mean, Coda hasn't exactly herself, to be honest, because she loses all the time. But at least she's getting a chance to show up and do something different at all. But I will say between Tiffany and LA Knight could win at gold. But they had to be careful about for the interference. Imagine if Jay could win this. I mean, he helped to continue Drew's story. Eventually, Drew won the belt again, and he looks like he managed to grow with this passive, obsessive hatred for Punk. And then Jason on him and said it's right. Back to be obsessed with a bloodline screws him over. I mean, that could be like the first feud for Jay, and it's also already heated. If someone from the man catching his own priest, that'll be like the first time ever the Money in the Bank catching in has been used to take the belt for someone who wanted via Money in the Bank cash it in. It could be happening. Could be happening at all. Salute to Robert Pena. Well, I did say hello to Robert Pena twice, but well, it doesn't matter at all. But hey, we're just having fun. But between for the Money in the Bank, I mean, probably they're gonna be like between Jay and Tiffany. Probably. But I also see like very inedible. And there's like a lot of persons who wants to interfere in both matches. Both matches, ladies and gentlemen. Both matches. I mean, could imagine this. I mean, if LA Knight wins, Paul is going to ruin and cost. If Drew McIntyre wins, Hans runs and cost. If Gable wins, the way at 6 runs and cost it. If Jay wins, the new bloodline runs in and costed it. Well, whichever had the splitting fashion for LW this weekend and cost Andrade, probably. But Carmelo Hayes, who's getting like an interference, well, we don't know about that. But I'm not very sure. I'm not very sure that, well, Trick Williams is going to whoop that trick. But I will tell for this one. Imagine if Trick Williams had to interfere the whole match of Money in the Bank against Carmelo Hayes. That could be pulling a trigger. I mean, that could have happened. That could have happened at all. That could have happened. So yes, that's one of my predictions to Money in the Bank. So I know what it's gonna be like off the chain. And another reason I was talking about it, which is definitely had to blow out. And that is Nate Diaz versus Jorge Masvidal. And no, it's not about a UFC match. It's all about boxing. Boxing. I mean, how did I just wanted to know about this? Because this weekend is gonna be like surprisingly at all. But they both 40 because they made millions and both still they're gangsters. If anyone is gonna be interested about that, I mean, they both had the prime time just like a few years ago. But I guarantee that, well, I don't think that he wants to fight against that one. I mean, boxing seems like the easier path for him. I mean, whenever Masvidal fucked up Nate in MMA, he has less tools to do so in boxing. I mean, that's gonna be like the fight that no one asked for, and no one will have the brains to pay for. But someone will. Someone will. Someone has to enough balls to see that. I mean, some persons that shit on two legends who gave their life for the fighting, and now they're making absolute bank off all the hard work and popularity. I mean, it could be like a strange world. But they're like the OGs of MMA who have been fighting since like teenagers. I mean, it's very popular to hate on them, especially Masvidal. But they're fought for peanuts in both numerous entertaining fights over the years. Remember Ben Askren versus Jorge Masvidal? Super necessary in 2019 with a super knockout in a few seconds. And yes, there it is. Hey, how's it going, Earl? How's it going? Salute to you. Shout out to Eric Cole right now because I was watching the ANEW Dynamite and then he just did it correctly one Buenas noches. Yes, that'll be something amazing. And thank God they didn't put Orange Cassidy in the ANEW. I mean, oh, there's an interesting comment right now. On face say, I want to see Antonio Pierce versus the AFC West coaches in the octagon. Oh, you mean Jim Harbaugh, Andy Reid, Sean Payton? I mean, I know we're getting closer to the football season, but I mean that Antonio Pierce, I mean, he could have a Long Beach, a great style because I know he was a linebacker for the New York Giants, but he knows about for the tools. Yep, he knows everything about for the tools, and we just wanted to figure it out. But yes, I mean, some people don't get away upset about it because this is not completely the expectations at this point for their careers. I mean, after listening to Jake Paul, I mean, why doesn't it have Masvidal fighting Jake Paul instead? I mean, that was a months ago. And then the boxing event will be available to purchase for almost $50. Almost $50. And I have the feeling if Nate wins or does really well, it's going back to the UFC to fight Conor one more time at the Mexican Independence Day, which is in September. In September. But it's going to be a one-off event at the Sphere, and that's going to go blow the people away. Conor ever say that He wants to fight Nathan Sphere. That's been offered the card this week. But I have a feeling what's waiting what Nate does against Masvidal before he tries to pitch a game with the Nate Sphere. I mean, I just wanted to wish it us an MMA fight. Not that either, but with all the due respect about for the point of both men careers, but they're not very too lazy to try hard. Just feel like it'll very collect at all. Just like we're connected at all. But it is what it is. So yes. So after that, I was talking about for UFC 303, the gold debate, the Money in the Bank, and a little bit of Jorge Masvidal versus Nate Diaz, which is coming to 4th of July weekend. Yes. Even though that I'm just getting out of my bread right now, but don't worry about that, guys. Don't worry. Because right now, between me and my co-host, Zenith, we are getting back stronger than ever. With the brand new episodes coming up next, we just wanted to see like interviews on the street, hidden debates, breaking news, stats, what happens to the pay-per-views. I mean, there's nothing holding it back. So I know we're just like taking like a little bit of break, but we'll be back much stronger than ever. And we'll bring it out all for the fights of UFC, WWE, Bellator, AEW, including the boxing matches. And I just wanted to tell you that shout out to G Nation Inside Sports, which is Lou, Pat, Wells, because they have an amazing live reactions and watch parties of Letter to the Face. I mean, I love those guys, and well, during the fight between Nate Diaz versus Jorge Masvidal, it's gonna be blow up your mind. So yes, and I'm gonna tell you, hit the like button, subscribe, share this video, and don't be an ninja watching. So like I said about that, folks, thanks for having us on a special episode of the Combat Club. We'll be right back for the next few days until we figure it out for the new day for the show, along with my co-host, Zenith. So there it is, folks. Have a great night. Have a great 4th of July weekend. And of course, it's been like in another episode of the Combat Club. And I will see you there next time at the octagon. Salute to you. And of course, we are out of here. Boom!